Ladies and gentlemen,
he's pretty popular.
It's Trevor Sims in the house, James.
That's right.
Fuck.
That's right. This is going to be great.
Mind blowing.
So much to talk about.
I'm supposed to be the first guest, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
what
sir.
happened? We got carried away.
got
30
too many-
episodes later.
Yeah, too many farm animals.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
But I got a
attentive.
guy there now who's taking care of him. So
Oh, really?
That's
A
good.
reliable guy, huh? I hope.
it's
Cause,
the longest I've been away from the ranch since I got it.
yeah, because you were out here for a while, like a minute in
I've
Hollywood.
been here about a week and a half.
Holy shit. How's Hollywood treating you out here? Having a good time? Whipping around in that limo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, I see a limo. I see a limo driver who's a great actor.
Thank
I
you.
see a producer,
Thank you.
director, filmmaker who's a great actor. And, everything else that in between.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's nice
Speaking
to have
of,
you here, man. Yeah. No,
let's
we're blessed to
introduce-
have Trevor.
Right.
I mean,
right.
the guy doesn't really need an introduction. Almost, he's been
Right.
done quite a bit of stuff, and he's become our friend, right? Our dear friend. So
For over a year now.
yeah, over a year. Fuck, that fast, huh?
Which is a segue,
Yeah.
a opportunity to segue. And one of the reasons we're here today.
One of the main
Not
reasons,
only to
James.
promote whatever Trevor wants to talk about or talk about whatever our guest wants to talk about, because we're fortunate and grateful to have you here today. But we do want to talk about something that we all have in common, a common friend.
Yeah.
Right. So let's not bring the energy down now. Let's keep it up.
I'm
Let's
just-
keep it up.
Literally.
We're trying to get sponsors over here.
Yeah.
We can't be doom and gloom.
No,
I
we're
was
not.
gonna ask Morgan if he had a box of Kleenex, some tissues ready for me, because we might get a little sentimental here. I know,
Yeah.
I know how I feel.
Hey, but he's also a producer, director, actor. I mean, let's put it out there.
There's a lot to
The
talk
guy's
about.
done a lot, and he owns an awesome ranch. What, just outside of Los Angeles, 3 hours away, or
About 2.5.
2.5 hours away? It seems like it's further out.
Depends on traffic.
I
Yeah.
got these ready if I need them. So yeah, well, I would love to start with. I know that our friend, who's not doing very well right now, is laid up in the hospital as we speak, and I hope he gets the opportunity to hear this, and we can talk to him again. But we could start with how you met Tom Sizemore, and the stuff he's worked on with you guys. Have worked together.
So, the movie I was doing, it was called Miserly at the beginning, and it's about a bunch of killers going around harvesting adrenal glands. And the adrenal gland is what produces adrenaline in the human body. So, when you're experiencing an adrenaline rush, it's the adrenal glands. You have two of them on each side above your kidneys. It's the adrenal glands that are producing that adrenaline in the blood. And I didn't make it up, but I made the movie about it, where people going around and killing people, taking out their adrenal glands and getting high on it.
Is it kind of a conspiracy theory, would you say, or depending on who you're talking to, right?
It's a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that. Huh?
JFK, this JFK assassination is also a conspiracy theory, right?
Right.
Right. So anything's possible.
Take it with,
For what it's worth, yeah.
however you want to take
Grain
it.
of
So,
salt.
Interesting.
I
thought.
had like a rough draft of the movie done, and then I did a Kickstarter campaign, and I think we brought in like 10 grand. And a lot of people, you need a star. You need a star. You need a cameo
name.
from a star. Mm-hmm. And at the time, Eric Roberts was the name floating around. Eric Roberts was real easy to get. He was doing everything, He was a little old for the role, and I tried to get a hold of him. For some reason, I couldn't get a hold of him. And then my composer was like, well, what about Tom Sizemore? And I thought Tom Sizemore was going to be unobtainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was at first. The manager declined, didn't respond to me. And then I saw Sizemore has like a commercial agent or voiceover. He had some kind of agent who was like like a specific field.
Like a niche kind of.
And
agent.
one of my friends who's from Kentucky, who lives out here, who's an actor, somehow connected to this guy's agency. And they had like an agency party or something. So I went to the party, talked to the guy, showed him the trailer to the movie. And that guy then called Sizemore's manager and was like, listen, I just saw some clips. I can vouch for the artistic integrity of this. He's been, he really wants Sizemore. Can we get him? Can you give him a second chance? So the manager called me up. He's like, when do you want to do this? And I was like, whenever. And he's like, well, can you do it next week? And I didn't have a location yet. I needed like I wanted it to be like a cave, like an Afghanistan cave. And I said, yeah, I'll do it next week. Let's do it. So I spent all week driving around Santa Clarita on my motorcycle, looking at all these locations. Finally found one. It was a gold mining shaft. And so day of, I had everything ready. Sizemore was running about 4 or 5 hours late.
No, Tom?
not him.
Come on. That's crazy.
And he
That's
showed
crazy
up-
talk now.
Yeah,
He
come
showed
on,
up and
buddy.
he blamed it on. He said something about the directions, and I was like, I knew he was going to be a tough guy to work with, but I was like, this is the first time I was working with a big name, so I was gonna, I wanted to be tough too, right? So,
Yeah.
so whatever. Go get dressed.
That's funny.
Go sit over there. Here's some steak. We got some steaks for you.
Yeah.
So we give him a steak, like a filet mignon or ribeye or something. He's eating with his hands, right? Because we didn't have utensils, so he's just eating the steak right off the grill. And he was like, "Can I get my makeup?" And I didn't have a makeup, so I had one of the girls
Yeah.
who was going to be one of the skeleton chicks. I was like, "Can you put some makeup on?" She's like, "I don't know how to do this." I was like,
Just make believe.
you just cover up the redness. Just cover up the redness."
Yeah.
So I got this hot Russian model actor
I saw her in the clip.
putting makeup on him, and then I'm like, okay, well, he's running late, so I give him his wardrobe, I give him his army fatigues, and I'm like, go put this on, and he's like, well, where's my dressing room? I looked over there, pointed over there behind the bushes. I said, go over there behind those bushes.
It's hysterical.
He didn't say nothing. He looked over at the bushes and just kind of, he ate it, right?
Yeah.
He just took it.
That's funny.
And
A long way from those big budget movies.
so I go over to the mining shaft, and I'm getting ready for the scene coming up. Kind of going over the shots and stuff, and then his girlfriend comes over with the phone. She's like, "Here, talk to Tom's manager." And it's the manager's like,
Uh-oh.
"Is Tom out in the open? You don't have a trailer for
yeah.
Tom?"
Which girlfriend, by the way? How many?
There's Melissa. She's an MMA fighter.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Yeah, big, strong black chick.
Uh-oh. You don't want her mad at you out there.
Remind me to come back to the story.
Okay.
After we shot, come back to
Melissa?
her wanting to take a motorcycle ride, and Tom trying to get on the back of it with us. He's trying to ride 3 on the motorcycle, me, her, and Tom on the back.
Holy shit.
That's next. So she's like, talk to the manager. The manager's like, he's out in the open. You don't have a trailer for him. Blah blah. Put him on the phone. Put him on the phone. So I go back over there. Tom's over there behind the bushes, rolling around in the dirt, trying to put his pants on, sweating bullets, putting the pants on, rolling in the dirt. Can't get them on. Right, rolling around in the dirt. Put the manager on the phone. He wants to talk to you, Tom. The manager's like, just leave, Tom. Just leave. Just
Uh-oh.
leave.
Oh, shit.
That's the way it goes. Right?
Just
Yeah,
leave,
in
Tom.
Hollywood, for sure.
Don't do
Yeah.
it, Tom. Forget it. Just leave. And Tom's like, no, he's a good kid. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not leaving. I'm gonna do it. He's like, Trevor, I just can't do this. I just can't work like this. I was like, okay, I got a place for you. I got a place for you. I was thinking, because I was just in the back of that mining shaft. I was like, it's dark. It's about 60 degrees.
Wow.
Let's go.
Can I interrupt for one moment? I'm so sorry, but somebody wants to say something. Did you want to tell us something? Oh. The special guest just popped in and popped out. Okay.
I think as a producer of this show.
Yeah.
Your wardrobe people.
Did you take the note? Or
She wanted me to put the headphones on and then put the hat over top the headphones.
Oh, I don't know if that would work.
Let's try it.
But
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. These kids have common sense, man. I got to tell
Let's
you.
see.
I like the look, by
What
the
do you
way.
think?
Yeah.
Over there.
I think I got to listen to her more often.
There you
Okay.
go.
All right. That's the look for now. Okay.
Okay, so we walk over. I put him in the back of the mining shaft. I give him a little LED light, put him up with a chair, and now he's cooled off. He puts his wardrobe on. He's reading the script, and he's ready, right? So we start shooting, and we were working with these smoke grenades. So I'd light this smoke grenade. All this red smoke would billow out of the cave, and then Tom would walk through the smoke. And it was crazy. He was eating, we gave him some filet, and made it look like he was eating adrenal glands covered with fake blood.
Shit.
And while we were doing this, the smoke grenade's going off, right? My second camera operator, coughing his head off, ran away. Everybody's running away. I'm in the trenches. It's me, Tom, in the trenches. My eyes are closed. I can't see. I can't breathe. I'm just barely surviving. And I look through the smoke, man, and this dude is in the smoke. Unfazed.
He's a tough guy. Just to kind of catch up, Tom had an aneurysm and is in the hospital in a coma, and it's been over a week now. So that's why it's so poignant to be talking about these experiences and memories with him, and we just want him to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want everybody to send their prayers and send their prayers to the family right now at this particular moment.
So anyway, anybody need these?
Unfazed, dude. Eyes open, delivering some improvised lines. That he's a genius, dude.
Yeah.
Just
brilliant
a
guy.
genius.
And I'd like to touch on that for people that really don't know who he is, don't know him. He's the kind of guy that if he lets you in and lets you get to know him and he wants to get to know you, like he cares about everybody that he is in his circle, you know?
Yeah.
But so many people have wanted to know him just because he's Tom Sizemore and because he's been in all these great movies, or they have this curiosity about things they've heard and everything. I don't think he lets people in so easily.
No.
But driving him home, we kind of started bonding. And I started telling him about some of my past experiences that people wouldn't really, they wouldn't think that I've lived through some of the stuff that I've lived through when I was younger. I have kind of a little bit of a history, and we related to each other, and we had a plan. And I told him, I said, man, I want to see you make the biggest comeback Hollywood has seen since, Robert Downey Jr., Geoffrey Owens, Brendan Fraser. I said, Hollywood loves a comeback story. And I said, I want to see you do it. And he goes, I still look like me, right? And I said, yeah. I said, Tom, you still are you know? And we were up in it. It's so funny. I was talking. I want to get back to what Trevor's talking about, but it was funny because Jimmy, when you pick him up, you go and you get certain things for him.
Yeah,
like he likes his frappuccino. Give him a couple packs of smokes.
Yeah.
Get him. He likes that Snapple, and so I went to go over there to work out with him, and an audition came up, so he was going to coach me on the audition, and I'm texting with Jimmy. And I'm texting with Tom, and I'm running around to all these different stores trying to get all this stuff. And then finally, Tom says, screw it, Jimmy, I don't think we're going to be working out today, but bring the stuff and we'll work on your audition. We'll just focus on the work.
Yeah.
So I'm up there in his kitchen. We're eating Der Wiener Schnitzel, and we start talking about how he interned for Sandy Meisner for 16 months.
Yeah.
And then we start talking about plays and forgetting lines or things that happen in theater, a live show, right? And then he starts talking about Othello, and he starts doing Othello for me in the kitchen.
Amazing. Yeah.
He starts just doing it, man. It was amazing. Like he's just brilliant. He was always reading a book, and he's a brilliant guy. He
really is. A lot of people don't realize that.
Highly educated.
Everybody,
he went to Yale.
A lot of people thought he was partying a lot of the times, and he was actually watching football, watching sports by himself, or a couple other people with him, and reading books. Like you just finished saying,
and he valued education. So
a lot.
When I first met him in this class that we were doing, he asked everyone, where did you go to school? And so I didn't really have much to say. And I talked to him about that too, And you know what? I was watching one of his movies. I've been watching a lot of his movies, some of the ones I didn't know about. And there was this one line, Trevor, where the secretary or something, because he's the owner. Have you seen Durante's Open?
Durant's Never Closes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I really enjoyed that. But there's one line where the secretary says, "What are you looking for?" And he goes, "Hell if I know." And that was like typical Tom, just those one-liners that he had,
Remember when we took him home and we kept doing? I was riffing off the online. I was looking through some of the quotes, and then he immediately picked up on it. Like he laughed. He goes, "Oh my God, that was
then
great."
He started running the lines because he remembers so many of them. But I love the when he'd tell us like a Point Break. That was like all so much improv.
Yeah.
And you watch the clip and you keep watching it over and over, and just how
the director was
how
the
great
director
he
was so gracious in allowing him and a lot of it, to just improvise, and he owned
smart.
that part where he plays the DEA undercover.
3 months.
Yeah.
3 months.
You think I like
this
dressing?
hair? You think I like these clothes, man?
My wife wants me to stay at Ramada.
Until you cowboys show up, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, just explain this. How are they robbing a bank, First National Bank, when they're in Fort fucking Lauderdale?
He goes, all right, smart guy, I want you to tell me this much, huh?
Yeah.
How are they robbing Tarzana National Bank on August 2nd when they were at 4th fucking Lauderdale on August 2nd, huh? Now you figure that out.
Yeah. Not easy to figure out, huh, Utah?
Oh, that guy was...
Yeah,
oh
I like that
God.
actor, too. But he's worked with everyone.
Really?
I mean, no, Tom.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah. Gosh, every time I turned around, it was another story about working with Don Johnson or hanging out with Sylvester Stallone or
great
the
stories.
Baldwin brother. Oh, my God. Nobody could tell it. He can tell a story like nobody I've ever heard tell a story. And
Tom?
Robert Miano will attest to that.
You talking about Tom?
Yeah. He could tell, like...
His imagination was just...
One of a kind, huh?
It was just huge, to the point where I think it actually got him in trouble, and it was there was a pinch of psychosis to it. But no, one time I'll never forget it, and I actually got it on 360. But he was telling me a story about when he used to live in Hollywood. He had his big house in Beverly Hills, and the cops were on to him for something. The cops kept showing up, and the cops would show up to his house, and he had all these black women, like
who he
hookers.
loved.
All these hookers,
He
black
loved
hookers
both
in his
black women and hookers
in his Beverly Hills, mansion, and
partying.
When the cops came in, he told them to all get on top of the furniture and start barking like hyenas.
No shit.
So he says, okay, so the cops come in, all the girls get on top of the dressers and furniture and they start barking like hyenas, right? And there was like some kind of
thing that he thought of.
There was some kind of method to it.
The method to the
And then
madness.
and then so they got a hold of one of the cops, and he beat the cop up in the front yard with a baseball bat. They brought the cop inside, put the cop in the bathtub, and he's just looking at the cuff, and he's just He starts going like this in the store. Biting his face off. Right? He's biting the cop's face off.
So this is a story Tom's telling you. Right?
Yeah.
I think some of these might have been
Fabricated.
And I'm just driving, dude, and I'm just like,
no. Were you there when he told the story about he's told it a couple times, but about when he worked as a waiter, and he just did the commercial, the big commercial, and he was thinking about quitting, but he wasn't sure, and he brings out the food to this guy, and he didn't realize the guy was a mob guy, right, in New York.
Oh yeah, you told me that story.
And the butter is in ice, so this guy's trying to show off for this girl. And he said, the butter's too hard. I don't like it like that. And he goes, okay, I'll take it back and I'll bring it. You know, and he goes, no, take it all back, because he's trying to show off for the girl, right? And Tom tells us, like, I can't even compare it. You know, I can't even, like, try to tell it like Tom tells. So finally he brings it out a couple different times, and the guy's still being a real asshole about it. So Tom says, you know, he said, you know what you need to do? He said, this is how we can fix this. You take that butter and you stick it between the cheeks of your ass for about 2.5 minutes, and then it'll be soft enough for you and your freaking, you know, whatever girl or something.
Oh my
and the
God.
guy just went, and he just walked away, and he quit, and he walked out the back, and he said that the owner was telling him, get out of here, get out of here. Do you know who that is? That's like Joe Gotts. You know, he's like the guy from, you know, this family. And he says, I'm going to give him a different name and just go. And I love when he talked about throwing away the tuxedo and going back and thinking, oh man, I paid for, you know, good money for this, and should I throw it away? I might need it. And
one of the last stories he told me was that, you know, I asked him who was one of your greatest loves, and there was many, right? And he would say that he really cared a lot about, loved Sharon Stone.
Oh, wow.
He told me really had a great time, that you really cared a lot about her.
Wow.
And then I asked him about Heidi. He goes, I really cared about Heidi.
What about Elizabeth Hurley? I really cared about Elizabeth Hurley.
There's other stories I'd rather not talk about.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, somewhere along the line he changed, because here late. I mean, since I've known him, it's only black chicks.
Yeah.
All black, only black. You go in his bathroom, he's got posters of, you know, black.
Well, he was telling me about the type of girl that he liked, and he says, tell Lonnie to hook me up, you know, and tell her that I like this type of girl. And I told Lonnie the name. I didn't know who it was, and she goes, oh Lord, like, oh yeah, I know what he likes, you know.
Yeah.
So
and he was gonna start a podcast with Heidi Fleiss, that live.
Really?
Yeah. That was in the works. That was in the works.
Well, maybe it'll still happen.
Yeah, he told me, hey, what do you think about this? And I said, why don't you start a podcast? He goes, you know what? I'm going to get on the phone right now. Got on the board and started talking to her. It would be a great idea to just do a podcast between the both of us. And she really liked it.
We had a lot of plans.
Yeah.
We were going to do an assault on Hollywood, and it was going to take 6 months to get ready for it. Well, I'll tell him part of it.
Yeah.
And we were going to work out like 2 or 3 times a week, or, you know, I was going to go over there at least once or twice, whatever. You know, he was going to put me through a workout because he knew how to do it. He didn't want to go to the gym. He said, it's too social. I don't really, it's like I got to hang up about that.
But why don't you tell the story about how many weights did he have, or the free weights?
Oh, you've been there, right? You know, he's got like this bench that has like 3 inches of dust on it, and a couple of barbells that are just loose, like hanging around. But he said we're going to do a workout, and that I was supposed to go over there Friday, and I had to shoot something over at LePac, a scene that for an assignment, and I had to cancel on him. And then I was going to he wanted me and Marie to do a scene that we've done in front of the class at this other place he was going to be teaching. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, I've been rehearsing and stuff, and I'm ready, you know. And he says, oh, no, forget that, because I'm not doing that anymore. And I said, okay, well, we'll put it up Saturday. And he goes, yeah, blow the doors, you know, because I said, we'll blow the doors off, man. We'll get everybody to step up their game, because he loved that scene.
Yeah, he did.
And I just, you know, yeah, when You said there was a medical emergency.
Yeah.
And
I
was thinking, Tom
yeah.
has had autograph signings that kept him from the class once in a while, but he was there so much, that I would always want to find out, is he coming? Because
and you called me, which was kind of unusual.
I wasn't going to go because I said, if he's not going to be there, I don't really like
and
going.
it was sort of out of character. It wasn't like you to call me the way you did, and I felt very like an ominous thing come over, like, oh, dude, like. It's weird because the house was quiet for starters, and it was never
I didn't
quiet.
know you went over there, but the thing is that remember what I kept saying? I go, maybe he just felt like a day off and he wanted to watch some football, or maybe something came up. So I called and left him a message. I said, hey man, I know maybe whatever it is. I just want to make sure you're all right, that you're not in the hospital or anything. Because when you said medical emergency, I didn't really think he had a medical emergency. Not that Tom was like the type to not, be truthful or anything. It's just that he was a big star, and he was very gracious and very generous to come over and teach these people that sometimes weren't prepared, and it was kind of a shit show over there. Sometimes it wasn't very organized, but he loved teaching. He loved teaching. Yeah. He loved being there with us. He loved telling us like things that would help us know what it's like to work in Hollywood.
Well, he wanted everyone there to actually work and get a piece of the pie and actually know what it's like to work.
That's what I love about Tom, is that he said, I want you guys to be able to quit your day job. If this is what you want to do for a living, that's what I set out to do. That's what I went to school for, and that's what I've been doing. And I never stopped. And I think that the stuff he was trying to do with us was to cut through a lot of the actory stuff and just get you to the place where you're going to be able to do the job.
Exactly.
But I didn't, then the next morning, this was Saturday, we were supposed to do the class. He wasn't going to go. I wasn't going to show up. And then you said, come on, man, why don't you go? Because I'm going to go there. I want to see you do that scene. Mm-hmm. And I went, and then went home. I figured, I left Tom. I actually texted him the scene that we did in class and a couple messages. Sorry. I woke up the next day and I saw the link to the article that Tom Sizemore had an aneurysm and was in critical condition. And it was a wait and see situation, and it still is.
And you shot it over. The whole class knew about it then. Trevor, I want you to go back to, was it Melissa? I want to hear the story, dude. Let's lighten up the mood a little about the story where all three of you guys are in the motorcycle.
More funny stories.
All three of you guys.
So
how much time do we have, right?
Oh shit!
I wanted to do a little extra thing, and he's like, "We'll do it another day. We'll do it. I'll give you another day for free." So, like a day or two later, I come back over there, and we bring. I wanted to hit golf balls with him off of Towelhead's face, right? And I had a dummy and dressed him with a towel, and so it's like we're hitting golf balls off this dummy's head, right? And that's what I wanted, that little clip in the movie, and so he gave me that for a second day. So we went on that day, and we took his girlfriend with us, and then a couple of days go by, and he invited me over, and then he's like, I went over there, and he's like, Melissa keeps asking about you. She's like, well, what's going on with Trevor? And he's like, why? And he's like, well, so he invited me over because his girlfriend, I guess, had a crush on me. I think she was like 19 or something, 21.
This just went from PG to R.
Oh, okay. Well, there's nobody in the room, right? We're good. Okay.
I'm going to put it at So anyway, she really wanted to go on a motorcycle ride with me. So I show up on the motorcycle, and she gets on the back, and then Tom's like, like a dad, like taking pictures. Like, all right, honey, have fun. And you could see him like taking pictures of me and like kind of riding, and we were getting ready to ride off, and he's like, can I get on? You think I can get?
You think I could fit?
So he like literally, we were gonna try. He literally tried to get on the third wheel on the back of my, it was a Harley Sportster, and then he decided against it at the end. He's like, no.
It's a good thing his manager didn't know about that.
Yeah.
And so I take her riding, and I guess I took too long or something. And he was fuming back at the house. I show back up, and he's like all decked out in like his best wardrobe. He's got like cologne on. His hair's all gelled back and shit. And he's like fucking pissed off, right? Like, who's this fucking guy taking my girl? I'm Tom Sizemore. Look at me. You know, he's fucking,
right.
You know, trying to get, you know, buck. And you know, it's real easy to put the fire out. You know, he was really easily. You could change the subject really easy, and next thing you know, he's a
happy man all over again.
Just, you know, going on a rant about something else. But yeah, it ended up the girl comes out of the bathroom. She's in like some lingerie now. It's like he brings me back down to the kitchen. He's like, Militia wants you to fuck her.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, I don't want to do it, man. It's like, it's your girl, man. He's like, yeah, he really wanted me to sleep with his girlfriend that night. But, and I felt so bad leaving, and she's like at the top of the stairs in the lingerie, and I'm like, you know, everything happens for a reason, you know. she's like, you know. Whatever.
He was wild.
He was a free-spirited man, right? Very free-spirited.
Let's just say, sometimes I
yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the regular. Where are the regular? Because I get
right. Yeah, we don't want to go too far into.
There's another girl named.
There might be some editing going on over there.
There's another girl named Kimberly Snell, who he met her online, and he was getting catfished.
Oh, really?
He was getting catfished.
Tell us the story. I want to hear this.
This sounds like a fun one.
Catfished, and I caught on to it real quick. You know, but he wouldn't. No, I met her. I was like, no, let me.
Like, it's my girl.
These beautiful pictures of this beautiful, like, blue-eyed black chick, and it's just like, all right, like, okay. He bought her a plane ticket. She didn't show up.
Oh God.
Bought her another plane ticket. She didn't show up. She's, you know, they're having like phone sex. Like I'm trying to. Well, there's one day I was trying to get him to help me shoot, you know, like a little teaser, like a little concept video for this movie Wolf Island. I'll never forget how pissed off I was when he's like over there, you know, having like this phone sex with this catfish. Want to lay in bed like
it was 500-pounder, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't get him to show up and work. But I used to get his text messages. For some reason. I was signed in. Like there was about six.
You guys
6
run
months.
Group chat.
There was about 6 months where when he got into that. When he got into that trouble, he lost his manager dropped him when he ran the stuntman accident, and then
what happened? Did he had an accident or something
on the set of Shooter? And it just shows this guy is the most he's the most method actor I know. So during the Shooter, you know, the Shooter Paramount,
it was a series.
It was a series.
The offshoot from the movie.
They had this big shootout in the movie, and Tom's character was supposed to get in a car, but he wasn't supposed to drive off. So during the end of the shootout, Tom gets in the car, starts it up, puts it in reverse, pulls back, runs out, and he had ran over a stuntman behind the car.
Holy shit, really?
He wasn't supposed to drive off. He's supposed to get in the car, cut. He's so in the moment, blah, blah, bang, bang.
Is that public?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could edit that out.
But I was wondering.
No, it's
common knowledge.
I've watched like the clips of Tom throwing the football. I got one off Facebook where he's throwing the football in somebody's backyard.
He's a beast.
Oh, he won he got a scholarship to Yale, right, from football. I think
that's what he said.
Michigan
State. He was supposed to play Michigan State.
Right.
No, he was gun-ho.
But what I was wondering is because he kind of seemed like he might have had a bad back, because I know that feeling.
Yeah, but
the way he was kind of hunched over a little bit sometimes.
On as a quarterback, I wanted to play. I wanted to.
I saw him throw the ball.
Group together a football game. It sucks. I've been locked up at the ranch for the last year and a half. I hadn't really, but I wanted to do a football game where Tom was like the all-time QB. But we used to go play all the time, and I had this dog, right? And this dog would just, no matter what frisbee, she was just dedicated. The frisbee would go beyond. She would catch that frisbee till she died. She was bleeding out of the mouth, bleeding out of the gums. And that's how I felt when he would throw me that football. I felt like that dog.
Wanted to catch that ball.
That would go after that. Yeah, no matter where he threw it. Yeah, I can't breathe. My lungs hurt. But that motherfucker could throw that football, dude.
Yeah, he carried one with him a lot of times.
And I could catch it like no other.
A book under one arm and a football on the other.
Yeah, yeah. He was always reading. I told him about a book that my mom told me I should read when I was young. It was about history. It was about World War II. And he goes, yeah, Jimmy, I want to read that too. I want to read it. So tell me when you get, let me know. And I told him I got the book from Amazon. Now I'm going to, get it to you.
We used to throw the football a couple of times. He threw, come on, go long, Jimmy, go long. He would run up the steps.
Remember that time when
football?
Were you there? Or we went to, I don't know why, but something came up where he wasn't going to go to the class. He decided not to go to the class that day. Because I was going to have him private coach me for a big audition. This was an audition for a top TV show. I probably shouldn't say what it is.
Yeah, maybe you should.
But it's like the biggest show out there. And he coached me, and I remember I had to take a punch. And he taught me, how to take the punch on camera for the audition and go down on one knee. And I actually got coached by Robert Miano, Tom Sizemore, and Chris Coppola for this audition.
Really?
And I got a call back. But Tom said, let's just forget about the class today. Like, just tell them I can't make it, and we'll just work on your audition. But we did, too. We worked on that audition together. I just feel like I haven't known Tom for that long. I wasn't as close as maybe you and Trevor were.
I think Trevor was a lot closer.
Yeah. You guys.
I met him. I met him on real quick. I met him while obviously I was his limo driver a couple of times, and I tell the story. It's in my book.
Yeah.
But I tell a story about how I pick him up from this hotel here in Hollywood, and he's with four
you remember which
chicks.
One it was?
4 girls.
Which hotel? Probably one nice one.
Must have been one of the good. Yeah, like the Sunset Tower maybe.
Okay.
And he had 4 girls with him in the limo, and
this was back in the day.
Back in 07.
Oh wow.
Maybe 07 or before that. I don't know. I can't say which day because I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if he was married back then.
Oh, okay. But so anyway, he was younger.
Right, he was younger. 4 chicks, and then he goes, Hey Jim, he goes, I'm gonna go into this place, and he went to he started going bar hopping, and then at some point they end up hitting different strip joints, titty bars and whatnot, and then he ends up coming out with another 4 or 5. He goes to back to the hotel, or at that point he ends up going back home. Beverly Hills.
Did he alternate? Did he leave some?
No,
of them
no.
there?
He ended up with
all
of them with him, and then he tipped me $50. He goes, I'll be calling you soon again, so something like to that effect. So
wow.
I got your
He told
number.
me some stories that I won't share.
Yeah. No. There's a lot of great stories.
Yeah,
I'm sure Trevor knows plenty.
But the thing is, and that'll be for a private conversation over coffee or something. And they're not bad.
No.
I mean, to know Tom is to love him. He was trouble. I mean, he's had his troubles in the past. When I talk about he was, it's because I'm talking about the past.
Oh, right.
He's still with us. I want him to.
And he was still rock and roll, make no mistake.
And if
right,
anyone
Trev?
can beat the odds, it's Tom Sizemore. He's a tough guy. I've been watching some more of his movies, and I just see a tough guy.
And we're literally praying for him. There's never a night goes by.
But the thing is, what I do as I describe Tom to people the younger kids that might not know him and everything, and they go looking him up online and they find stuff that
Saving Private Ryan.
I really wish wasn't there and everything. But with all the good stuff that's there too.
Yeah,
but I say, hey, he was the epitome of the bad boy of Hollywood. He was, hey, look who's here. But yeah, he was the, I think he liked that image, but it was also there was some demons that were there that, he had a monkey on his back for years with the addiction.
Yeah.
And, but what a guy. I mean, he lived hard, he played hard, he worked hard.
But he was always so kind. Also, he never had a bad never a bad bone in his body. Never talked about anybody. Never, never talked ill about anyone, bro. Like anyone. Even if you brought up a conversation, what do you think about this person or that person? He wouldn't say. He had no opinion about it.
And you could ask him, like over where I go to school. I was brought up Tom Sizemore. I said, Tom said this and this and that about this and that. And then my instructor said, ask him about when he was on Private Ryan, that scene where they start talking about this conversation with Tom Hanks and Matt Damon and da. And I said, yeah, I'll ask him. And when you ask Tom a question about a movie that he worked on,
oh shoot,
he'll tell you. Like he'll tell you exactly. He goes
specifics.
Oh, he wants to know. Okay. Yeah. Well, I remember that I went back to Hank's trailer. Mm-hmm. And we said, let's work this out and let's make some choices and let's talk about this. And then we improv part of it. Yeah. But we had, and he I don't remember exactly what he said. I wish I could remember everything. Yeah. Because he was just had a wealth of knowledge about and experience.
And he does actually. He does.
I tell these younger kids that don't know who he is, and I send them clips of Heat, Saving Private Ryan,
Point Break, right?
True Romance, Point Break. I
True
said
Romance is good.
He went toe to toe, as I like to call it, acting with Denzel Washington and Devil with the Blue Dress.
Yeah,
and I mean that was when he was younger. And there's just so many more. I mean, it's amazing.
We gotta
Blue
definitely.
Steel.
We might have to wrap this up and have him come back.
We'll have to do another part to this. I remember one thing he told me though that was really interesting. He was talking about when he got, and I hope I can remember all three of the movies. It was Lock Up, Born on the 4th of July,
love that part,
and Blue Steel, like all at the same time. So he's flying to the Philippines with Tom Cruise, and he had to go from New York, or no, from wherever he was, I think L.A. to New York or New York to L.A. because he was there for a bit. And he said, I checked bi-coastal because I thought it'd be better. But he says, I didn't know I'd have to get myself out there. Yeah. And I figured maybe my parents or something. He said, because my management, my agent, they weren't going to fly me out to meet with Stallone.
Right.
So, but I got myself out there. I had a week. I could have drove, he just tell you exactly like all the little details of and you picture it like he like a great actor is a storyteller. Yeah. And he fills in with all these colors and all these details.
Yeah, all the nooks and crannies, man. Trev, any final thoughts, brother man?
Long live Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
Long live Tom Sizemore.
In every way.
Well, with that, guys, we'll have Trevor come back, and that wraps up the Jim and James Morning Podcast.
And whenever this comes out, we're going to try to get it out real quick, right away, because Tom is in a situation right now where he's fighting for his life, and he could use prayers or send good vibes or whatever, light or whatever you're into, and his family too. Okay, so thank you for watching this.